All right, Burbs Bros fam, it's time to level up. Become an official patron at patreon.com/Burbs Bros for just $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. A lot less nowadays, and it gets you plugged into the mothership. Stay on top of everything UAP and supernatural, movies, interviews, press conferences, news articles. If it's out there, we're breaking it down. And as a patron, you'll get early access to weekly episodes, 4 exclusive bonus episodes every month, plus our entire archive of 25 plus Burbs Bros episodes you can't hear anywhere else. And when you join, you become a Burbie. It's like a Furby, but even sexier, guys, which means your name gets shouted out at the end of every episode. Immortality achieved. We are finally achieving what Sam Altman wants and what Elon Musk wants, everyone. So don't wait. Jump in now at patreon.com/Burbs Bros. Just $5 a month for even more top secret information. Let's keep chasing the truth together, folks.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Burbs Bros podcast. I am one of your hosts, sitting here with my very hilarious co-host, Dan St. Germain. Some call him the Lord of St. Germain.
The Count of St. Germain.
The Count of St. Germain. In mystical times, we'll get to that later.
It should be the counting calories of St. Germain.
We are so excited to have our guest for today. If you don't know what the podcast is about, we talk about paranormal stuff, UFOs, ghosts, with a little sprinkle of true crime in there, just to be random. And today we have two hilarious people. Very, very funny comic. You've seen her all over. Give it up for Elle Orlando, everybody. Yay!
It is so dumb that I was introducing the show the last 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because my introductions are horrendous.
Oh, I bet.
It took 5 minutes.
I bet.
So
And I bet
hard.
they'd be so weird. Like, our guest here looks like they'd be able to fit in the trunk of a car. But I should just watch a documentary, The Trunk Car Killer. What?
And that voice you heard was super funny. Friend of the show, Ian Fidance, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. There's the professional beginning that we need to the Burbs Bros.
Excellent. I woke upset about it, but this is just how I look, guys. And a good thing, I will be guesting with on B and Ian next month. So this is a good plug for
Yes,
that.
it will be wonderful. Dan is a fan favorite. We have a great time together. There is a ring in my ear on the
Yeah, I hear
headphones.
that too,
same.
actually.
Can you hear that back there?
Oh yeah.
You cannot.
I don't.
Holy shit.
I'm wondering
Yeah,
if
I
it's
think
a
it's
thing.
Does
a
this mean I've
normal
had a
thing.
ring in my ear
It's
for the last
called-
10 years?
I had tinnitus.
It's called
for
I was gonna say
almost
tinnitus.
a year from computer duster.
My buddy.
Wait, what? What's that? Because I have tinnitus.
When you computer duster, the stuff that
Oh, I
the
don't
air
know.
duster. Oh no.
Oh, you
you
didn't tell
like
me you had that interesting thing about it.
Actually, hold on. Time out, because I don't know if I don't hear me in the headphones either.
I don't hear.
We might need to do a time.
Oh, now I
there we
do.
go.
Now I
hear
do.
me now. Yes, I hear me now.
Okay, so that ring is not.
Is that not on the recording?
That's not on the recording. Great.
Really quick story about
Alright.
tinnitus. My buddy
Yep.
was a CSI guy in the NYPD for years. My buddy Matt, and he said they came across a crime scene once, and there was a body. The guy blew off his head with a and written in tape on the side of the shotgun, it said "the final cure for tinnitus." The guy had such bad tinnitus
Oh my
that
God.
he just ended it.
my
Yeah,
God.
it's
Whoa. Could've been
really
me.
messed up, isn't it? Yeah.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah. So I don't think you have that style tinnitus, but
Well, that's what I'm
I
gonna do
think
after
there's
the
different levels.
show. After
No,
I
I
hear
don't
this ringing in
think
my
so.
ear,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
final cure
Can you just
to getting
make
off
sure it's
Burbs
on
Bros.
camera?
What would you do if that ring?
We really need
Hold
the
on.
audience.
What if that ring just brought down one of those psionic eggs out of nowhere in the middle of the show? One of the crafts just comes down. We figured out the tone
I
that
would
gets us
love
that.
that, dude.
Thank you guys so much for doing this show,
Yeah.
Ian. This is your second time, I believe, on the program. Elle, this is your first.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
You're
the
a
first
fan
question.
favorite.
Let's go to you first, Elle. We ask everybody the same question.
Okay.
Have you ever had anything either paranormal or UFO related happen to you in your life? It could even be like the smallest thing that you were like, I
Yeah.
thought it was nothing, but maybe it's nothing. But we have
Yeah.
that on the show as well. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so when I lived in Chicago, I definitely had a ghost in my apartment, and I named
Really?
I named him Steve because I was horrified of him. But then when I named him Steve, we became boys kind of. and Steve was a menace. So I think he lived in the
Oh my
little
goodness.
attic. So there's an attic like on my ceiling, right? And it was always cracked up. Like it kind of looked like it was out of The Ring or something, and there was like cobwebs, and it was scary. But
Like old looking.
it was old looking, and the style of the apartment was like long, so the railroad type of apartment, right? And so I'd be in my living room and I could see my kitchen, and Steve would knock over in my kitchen that would be standing still. Like a broom would just be standing and then he'd knock it over.
Oh, wow.
And there's nothing that could have done that.
No.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
explanation.
It's like I did
No.
live under a train.
No,
Yeah.
no, but like he would just knock it over. And I had a roommate, but she had a boyfriend, so she was always not there. And so
Was she ever a witness to any of this
Did
stuff?
Steve ever try to
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't sleep ever because I was so scared of Steve. But no, I don't think.
Wait, so it was like it was in the forefront of your mind when you were there. Like it wasn't like a couple of weird things like that could have been ghostly. You were actively thinking about Steve.
that, and I would have like horrible nightmares in that apartment, like
Oh my God.
of like zombies cutting off people's heads. It was very gory.
How long
What?
did you stay there?
I stayed there for a year.
Maybe it was built on like an old Chicago Blackhawks burial ground. Or whatever the fuck, just fucking just dead hockey players underneath the
Maybe.
building.
Just half his body is in your wall.
Yeah, it was scary.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
So
It
you
was in
moved out of
Lincoln
there,
Park.
and then like did the dreams stop? And
Yeah,
like
actually, and I never really attributed the dreams to like the paranormal activity, but now I think it was only the horrible dreams were only when I lived there.
oh my god, did you feel like an energy shift when you moved to a new place? Like did you feel like a weight come off your shoulders because you were like no more Steve?
I think
Feel
so.
like a
overall.
relationship ended?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, Steve. And sometimes I miss
Talk
Steve.
about getting ghosted. Can someone give me the cure to tinnitus?
There we go.
Yeah.
But that
Patrick.
is full on paranormal.
Yeah, that's something.
That is something. Ian, last time we had you, it was the different iteration of the podcast when it was all suburban news stories. So I never asked. I feel like you come off like you're on a different plane anyway. So it's
Yeah,
like
thank
you know
you.
what I mean? Like it's like I feel like he has a different perception than everybody else. So you must have had something happen to you.
I have
That
dealt
wasn't
with
just-
hauntings because I've been friends with Dan for years. So that's because less of a ghost, more of a goblin. But no,
The ghost of managers past. just pilots that never worked out. Now, have you ever had anything like in your life that was like, same kind of deal where it's like you're like,
Like,
holy
you
shit,
were
what
naughty.
was that?
Like you gave him like a this is
Yeah.
going to be a spooky story
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Gerber
Actually,
baby look.
dude, I just thought of this, and I was wondering if I mentioned it on the last time I did the show, but I don't.
No,
think
probably
we got
not. 'Cause
to
we were
it.
doing suburban news stories.
Yeah.
And then we went, I don't know if you know this. We went full UFO the minute Dan got into it.
yeah.
And Dan, I've been into this thing for 8 years. Dan has surpassed me.
That's
Dan
so
is into
And that is not a
reptilians.
compliment. Next, knowing the show, next time it would be like black female issues. Like next time you get on, we'll never end this podcast, but it'll be a different podcast every 6 months with somehow even less of the fan base.
You're welcome to Black Female Issues. Have you ever not had time for that foolishness?
That was pretty good.
What can you guys tell us about tax law? It goes like the worse and worse as we go.
Yeah, actually, years ago. So I moved to New York in 2003. I drank my way out of it in 2008, and I moved back to Delaware. I had to move in with my mom, and I ended up getting kicked out of my house. I was a carpenter, and I found this apartment, and I moved into an old farmhouse in Wilmington, Delaware, in Bell Farm.
kind of on brand for you.
Which was about like maybe, I don't know, 5 blocks from the house I was born in.
Yeah.
And this house was
Was
built
it rejuvenated or was it like a
old, built in 1895.
Okay.
Yikes.
Old. And it was an old farmhouse, and then there was a creek, and you go over the creek, and there were these 1-bedroom efficiency apartments, and then in the middle was like the shared like laundry
okay.
room
All right.
that we all had. And when I went to rent the place to look at it, it was just a weird coincidence. The girl that was in that apartment, I hadn't seen her since grade school, and I was like, oh, cool. And the woman downstairs was the one showing it, and she was this weird lady, man. And when I moved in, the girl told me, she was like, hey, the girl downstairs told me that when I moved in, there was like this, I don't even, it was like an unk or an ankh or like some sort of
ankh
like
I've heard of, yeah.
religious figure thing on the wall. And she told me that the girl downstairs told her to tell me when she moved in to not move that.
Oh,
Do not
God.
move this. You can decorate the apartment, do whatever you want. Just do not move this. I was told
horrible.
not to move this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, great. So I never moved it, kept it on the wall, whatever. And while I lived there, I was just like drinking myself to death. It was like everybody said that the apartment came with a gun. It was like the most depressing
Oh my God.
apartment. There was no.
So you relapsed immediately when you got back in there?
I was already drinking
Yeah.
when I
Okay.
got in there. I tried to get sober in that apartment. And I had to like go to rehab and like jail, and like a friend came over and like took all my drugs, and like he would come over and like read me the Bible and like light frankincense to try to like bless the apartment. He would always tell
Just
me
just
like
made it worse.
that
Just haunted it.
everybody
Yeah,
said that
just
there was
Gave
like
a shape to the ghost.
everybody said that this place there was like a feeling in this place, and I loved it. I was like, I love this spot. It
Were
was like
you
dark
playing
and
your
dingy.
comedy the whole time? Was that?
Shut up. No, this was 2009, so I was playing yours. But there was no overhead lighting. Everything was lamps. It was just like a dark wood panel, dingy death trap, and I fucking loved it. And then I eventually had to leave, and I had to move in a halfway house, and it happened like all very fast. And I was trying to get people to see the apartment. I finally got this guy to move into the place. He came, he looked at it. I handed over the lease. Next day, I was out. That week, he was in. And then like 2 weeks later, he calls me, and he was like, hey, did something happen in this apartment? And I was
No
like,
way.
Yes.
why? What are you talking about? He goes, my dog keeps barking at the same spot in the bedroom
No.
every single night, and sometimes I'll be awoken by a sound of something falling and dragging.
No.
And I'll hear tapping in the walls, and I'm like, I don't know, man. And he was like, there's some sort of energy here that is not good. And I was
You
like,
were too drunk to get haunted.
Oh my
That's
God.
amazing.
That's
You were
so
too much of an
funny.
alcoholic for the demon to possess you. He's like, he's got his own demons. Amazing.
yeah. And I was like, no, I don't know. He's like, I have to move out.
You're
Like,
the-
I can't sleep at night.
You're the drunk guy at the party to the demons. They're like, we have to hear that story
Oh
again.
yeah. The demons are going to the devil. Like, we got to get this guy out, and our old tricks aren't working.
They tried to exercise you out of the apartment.
There's this demon outside the farmhouse just smoking one cigarette after another.
My family did try to exercise me when I was in 5th or 6th grade because I was such a bad kid. They brought these Jamaican Baptists over to pray over me.
You just started blowing him.
They were praying over me, and they were speaking in tongues, and I felt so bad that they went through all this work that I faked it, and I was like, hama, hama, hama. And they were like, eat working. But yeah, I hung up the phone with this guy, and I was like, look, like, I don't know what to tell you. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, that thing on the wall. And I call, and I go, hey, when you moved in, did you put... There was like
you
you go
move
up
the
the
thing?
stairs, and then like you would walk up the stairs, and then directly ahead of you was like the bathroom. The bedroom was here, but there was like a piece of wall right here. I was like, but right next to the bedroom, there was that like cross or whatever. Did you move that? And he was like, yeah, I moved it and put up a picture of my parents. And I was like,
Oh,
did you throw that out? He's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, you got to put it back. I was told not to move it. Maybe that's what it is. And he was like, you, like, you should have told me. And
I
then,
mean, to
dude,
be fair, that would probably be better.
I was trying to get my life together. I didn't worry about it.
you think he's remembering this shit
Yeah.
in that state?
Yeah,
He's trying to get sober. He's not
so
like,
funny,
oh, by
man.
the way,
Yeah.
don't take off that mystical object.
Oh, dude,
Leave the mystical object on the wall.
So many gnarly things happened with me in that apartment. Just
What else
like-
happened?
No, just like at the place where I was in my life, of like the one of the lowest places I'd ever been, and like. Just I would go downstairs and I'd fight my neighbor, and like my mom had to pull me off him one night because I was choking. Like, it was just crazy.
Oh my God.
It was crazy, that place. And there was an old file named Wayne who lived in the backyard.
Oh.
And
Wait
like,
a minute. I think I knew a file named Wayne.
a lot of them are named Wayne.
Wait a minute. Wayne hasn't lived here in
Dude,
20 years.
This Wayne's World is way less funny.
Yeah, dude, Wayne one time got taken to the hospital. He smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and they took him to the hospital. I'll never forget seeing him on the stretcher going to the ambulance, and he's smoking a cigarette on the stretcher. It was crazy.
Damn.
I
That's
became
awesome.
the maintenance manager of the place because I was a carpenter. So my landlord was like, look, if you do like maintenance, I'll knock rent off, whatever. So I would like fix shit around the around this farmhouse because I lived in the attic, and then there was a 2-bedroom downstairs with my neighbors, and on the side there was this old woman named Vi English, and she used to sell me pills because she worked at a old folks home.
No way.
Yeah, it was like a crazy.
I feel like you
horror
lived in a
movie.
giant cigarette carton. You know, that's what it feels
Dude,
like.
and I lived next to River Road Swim Club, and I would take bolt cutters and cut through the barbed wire, and at night I'd hop the fence and go night swimming during the summer.
This is starting to sound better and better to me.
It was kind of cool.
How long
Yeah.
did you live there?
Oh man, like a year, I guess. I
Oh, it wasn't that long,
I
in the grand
moved
scheme of
in
Yeah, that's an
2009,
active year.
and then I left in 2010. Yeah, it was like
It
a
sounds
year.
like the
of
adventures
terror.
of sex-positive Huckleberry Finn. You know, it feels like. And then I threw in the river, and I met the Baptists.
But also the safe word was the N word.
Yeah. N-word Jim is Narcan Jim.
Yeah, Narcan was my N word.
Narcan Jim.
It's so funny.
Narcan Jim taking me out of this raft, making sure I'm asleep and not something else. Well, let's get to the meat. See how bad I am at this? It's
okay.
You're doing great. Get out of your head. Let's stop the riffing and get to the next segment.
That's what being Ian's like. If you didn't know, he set things up like that. Oh boy, yeah. So this next story is pretty crazy. Sean and I are huge fans of the podcast Weaponized. Sean's friends with Jeremy and George.
Oh, really?
George Knapp. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's not Gwar, asshole.
Sorry, it's not the basis of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I'm sorry, I didn't go to Real Big Fish's bar mitzvah or whatever the fuck. I really got Sean with Real Big Fish.
It's my favorite one. And I don't even think he likes the band. But
I love it. They're incredible.
Yeah, no,
They're
that's his
amazing.
favorite. That's his shit.
Turn the radio off. It's one of the greatest ska albums of all time.
Well, this podcast is Weaponized. It is the UFO podcast. Shout out to a few others too. But
they're like Jeremy and George, are like two of the biggest guys in our world, in our podcast world.
What?
Was what?
That orange thing.
It's
It's a hammer.
Can I hold that? Is it a hammer?
I don't know.
We haven't even introduced the first fucking topic yet,
It looks
and
like
you're
a
already
shock
Baron
collar.
Trumping it.
I think it's just a tool, dude.
It's for like golf simulating.
Oh,
I think we just found Ian's fleshlight.
Ian's gonna stick his dick in it.
Don't show anyone that.
It looks
Can
like
I hold that? Don't put it anywhere.
Yeah, don't stick it up your ass.
This is cool.
Wait a minute, there was another one. Ian's eyes crossed. So Weaponized, they had this guy who just did the last congressional hearing about UAP disclosure.
What does UAP mean?
UAP is unidentified aerial phenomenon. Because like. You know, if not everything we see in the sky is craft, and that you can't really classify as craft. So it's an all-encompassing term.
So they
It's about
changed
the
it
things in the
because
sky you don't see.
Because UFO, there's tons. It's
like the
there's
jazz
tons of
of-
stuff. Because UFOs got so kind of like not tainted, but like people think of UFOs as like on movies and TV. So and then they realize that a lot of these things are these instances are happening in the water. So it actually stands for unidentified anomalous
Whoa.
phenomenon.
Oh, shit. Never mind, I was
So
wrong.
it can be. It used to be
make-
aerial. It used to be aerial.
They
and
Latin
switched it.
X'd UAP.
Real UFO heads hate this.
Gray and they gray.
Grays.
And
Grizz.
so what ends up happening is they've since the past about 5 or 6 years they've had like 3 different congressional hearings on the topic where they have all these military guys come forward and say what they know about it. So they just what we're talking about now is they recently had a new one where this guy named Dylan Borland came on and talked about his firsthand experience with tracking these craft and the retrieval of these craft. So this guy is deeper than the military. This guy's legit. His credits are legit. And he was on the Weaponized podcast with Jeremy and with George. And this is what happened.
Well, let me just set up just to set this up a little bit more. So at this point, he's already revealed that he was part of a crash program. The reason I picked this clip is that he says there's something more secret than UFOs.
Whoa.
that
What's
they're
a crash
keeping
program?
from us.
God.
A crash retrieval program.
Hey, God to
They
some people,
literally
bro.
get the crash. They get the UFO and they bring it back to the government.
So there's a guy named Jake Barber that came out and said he was directly involved in this thing where they had the place called The Range where they were using this tone or this machinery to either psionically or with the machine have these things land or crash. And Jake Barber was part of the retrieval program that would go on usually a helicopter, heavy duty military helicopter, and go and retrieve these objects. And Barber has come out and said, I had a full on bond with this object. I think the actual thing was sentient. It felt like my mother, and I was overwhelmingly sad and elated at the same time. And my life has been different ever since for this one interaction. And then they started a group that is trying to psionically take these things down.
And this guy says there's something crazier than that.
Yeah.
That's the point. All
So
right,
that's
Chris,
where we got to here.
we're already
Wait.
It's okay.
So he found like a possessed object.
Not possessed. It's these egg-shaped objects that have been either sighted or were seen on radar or whatever it is, and he was within less than 100 feet of this thing because he was retrieving it from a place called the Range, where they're bringing these things down psionically with a psionic program. These guys who can basically remote view and just connect psionically with their mind with these things.
What's psionically mean?
With your mind, and take these things down, and then they send these guys to go retrieve the object, and he was sent to go retrieve it, and then he had kind of a bond with this object. And then so they're saying that was the big thing was this program
A
exists.
nicotine toothpick.
And now this guy Borland is
I'm
saying
having a bond with this.
Whoa.
now this guy Borland is saying that there's a bigger thing than the actual object
And
themselves.
it made him. Okay, sorry.
But yeah. So if you watch the clip,
All right.
he'll explain it more.
Either as a citizen or while working for the government that you want to share with us?
There are many. I think as of this time, what I will say is this. I have direct first-hand knowledge and exposure
just
to
gonna say
crash
diarrhea.
recovery, reverse engineering, integration of technology into
Redacted.
as well as the most important piece of technology on the planet, and it's not the craft themselves.
It would be the power source.
You can make that assessment
Just
yourself.
All right,
you
thank
saw
you,
these-
Ian. That's good. He doesn't expound on that, really.
That's the
So-
clip.
That's the clip.
Some guy that just goes, I have seen this. And that's it.
You took a lot of shit from my most terrified friend. I gotta be honest with you.
But there's the thing. It's like
Wait.
if you knew the guy's credentials, if you knew what danger he's putting himself in, like him saying that, like changes that guy's life. Like that guy's legitimate. That guy's legitimate.
So there's a
military.
target on his back now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He could
There's
die.
been a target.
He could die.
Elle, what were you saying?
He probably won't, but he
so
could die.
they're saying there's something worse than aliens, or just more
No.
powerful?
More
Yeah,
secret.
saying
More
and this.
secret.
So there's other people have said that when they're trying to this thing called like not zero sum, whatever it's called,
Quantum. It's
zero
quantum,
point energy,
0
which is
point
like
energy. That's it.
0 point energy, which basically you could have endless. You wouldn't need fossil fuels. You wouldn't need solar. You wouldn't need nuclear. It's just endless amounts of power using this process.
That's
that
what my book is about. The book I told you I was reading, Project X. It's
Oh,
literally-
really?
It's
Are
like
you
a
there,
fiction.
God? It's me, Minecraft.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So the theory is that what that book is
book,
talking about,
yeah.
that type of power exists, and that's what they've been trying to hide from you for so many years, above government levels, because they're trying to. It's a financially based thing where they're like, the minute this thing is come out or not harnessed,
Yeah.
then we're completely fucked, and oil
Why
goes
are we
away. And
fucked?
gas. Not us. I mean these companies.
Oh, but it would be
Exxon,
better for us, though.
It'd be a tremendous. It would solve a lot of the world's problems. That's the theory. It would solve world. You just have unlimited
Why
amount of
can't
energy.
everyone have money? Like, why is it that big of a deal if everyone has money?
I don't think it is that big of a deal. But
I don't think it's a big deal, but
to
there are theories
these-
for that.
to these
What's the
guys.
theory?
There's theories to.
So we all can't have money. Why is that bad if we all have money?
Well, if you listen to this podcast and you think that there's a chance that there's a sentient race that's literally farming our anxiety, depression, and anger, then everyone being cool would kind of get in the way with that.
What do you mean farming our anxiety and anger?
It's like aura farming, but bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sending us
So, like,
negative energy.
Their fuel source is our anger, anxiety.
Is you
and
is
they're,
you being like worried about an
cosmically
AIDS test or something?
pulling it away. They're like, the world would be drastically different if Ian wasn't worrying every day about having AIDS. We must make this.
Even being worried about his AIDS test could power the whole universe.
Oh my god! It's like they put tubes into Ian and Magic Johnson and they just like start shooting out into the sky.
There's a planet somewhere just banking on me, worrying about not having AIDS. Every prostitute is an alien.
Don't probe that one.
Every prostitute's an alien put in my life to make me have to worry about AIDS. I think think this one likes me. Yes, our plan is working.
He didn't even notice I had 4 pussies. But yeah, they think it's like literally it looks like a slab, almost like a marble, like almost some like Italian marble Renaissance art that you'd see, but it's just a giant slab, and from whatever there's something emanating from it. They think they're taking it from the quantum field. I guess there is here would be the legitimate is that like it seems like yes. Even though it's probably cleaner and better for the planet than fossil fuels, it still would require fusion. And I think they're terrified. One of the theories that I heard is they're terrified that you can't use this craft without time traveling a little bit. So they don't know like how you're able to do this without fucking up the fabric of reality, essentially.
Yes.
Wow.
Always gets in the way.
Fucking time travel.
But it's like 40 minutes. They get like there 40 minutes earlier or something like that.
Oh, that's not that bad. Can
Yeah.
you really fuck up something 40 minutes ago?
And also, like, the other thing is that they have no real, like, there's the amount of people, the amount of groups that much know about this energy are so minimal or know how to
touching it
or know how to like harness this energy are so minimal that that's why it can't get done. Like, if these companies could get their actually could figure it out, I think that they would just regulate that level of it. They'd be like, we have this new electricity. It's called
a good point.
It's called 0 point energy, and that you can sign up at your local Con Ed office for super fast Wi-Fi.
Is that what they do on the street when they try to get me to use clean energy? Those are aliens.
They're trying to sell you 0 point energy. Like, hey, you want to change your life? Yeah. But so that's what it is. I think it's what the other theory about this stuff is that behind closed doors, it's a complete race to who can harness this stuff first. So it's China, it's Russia, it's us.
Also
it's
Avatar.
Oh, so they're all
Yeah.
aware of this too.
That's the theory. Yeah, the theory. The things like this have been going on for decades upon decades upon decades.
So, and are we at the precipice of something like some new earth-shattering advancement?
We really hope so for the podcast, but I believe so. Yes.
Yes, the podcast can keep going.
Dan, okay. What if they came and they were like, we will make consciousness one and the world will be a better place, but you must get rid of Burbs Bros.
Say, hey, man, it's not worth it. It's not
It's
worth
a double-edged sword for Dan.
All right. We're talking about fucking bat children next episode. We gotta. No, I don't know. But I think Sean's point is that's a really good point. Like they'll just find a way to capitalize
monetize
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
In some way.
But to us, the most fun part of this is like the craft part, and then when we find out about psionics, and the more that there's a lot of themes that run through there's the consciousness part to this that seems to be for real. This is the most exposed this topic has been ever in human history.
And how many views does
the
it
most
have?
legitimized it's been.
How many views did that have, that whole interview?
Oh, probably hundreds of thousands, if I guess. If
Not even a million?
Well, people don't, it's a very small
Christ,
world.
we just
the
talked to you
UFO
about the
world.
secrets of the fucking universe.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm
Let's
saying
see, where's
this
it at?
seems to be like the greatest piece of knowledge we could ever have, and people are like, but it's not an expose on Rogan.
Dude, Jimmy Kimmel was out of a job for 3 days, okay? We need to talk about that.
That's the thing. It's like, doesn't this seem so much more important?
Yes.
Well, it's also at minute 38, so maybe people haven't got there yet.
Maybe they turn it off after.
Yeah, I don't know if they watched the whole thing.
That happens
or
with a lot of our
something.
videos. People get about 20 minutes in, they're like, I get it.
Thought I was going to see George Nett's tits in this one.
But it has almost 400,000 views. So their podcast is huge.
No, that's great, but I feel like this is like the secret to the universe. Like,
Dude, when the
why
first,
am I just finding out about this now? That there's a thing that makes you feel love and
this has been going on
sad.
since 2017 that they've been trying to roll out this information. So like, New York Times is the first thing that I read that I was like, oh, this seems actually legitimate. And it was. It was about this thing in the Department of Defense called ATIP, and that's what kind of got the ball rolling. And so much more has come out since then. And then it comes to this is like this past week, right? Whatever, a week and a half ago.
Broken by Ralph Blumenthal, who's in the archives, guys. So check that out.
So yeah, there's a lot of information you guys don't know about this, but like so the newest information is that this is one of the newest whistleblowers there is. That guy, what was his name again? Bodart. What was his name? Bodart's the other guy. Comedy guy.
Bodart.
Bodart.
So is he going to be okay?
Yes, he'll be fine because of the whistleblowing. I don't know you ever heard a guy, what's his name? Not Greer, but Bob Lazar. You ever hear of Bob Lazar?
Yeah, who's Bob Lazar?
Bob Lazar, George Knapp
Bob
got
Lazar.
him to come
Bob
forward.
Lazar.
Back in the 80s, Bob Lazar said he worked for the government trying to retro-engineer this type. They gave him a little piece of the technology from one of these ships, and they said, we need you to figure out how this thing works. It wasn't the whole thing, but he said he saw ships when he was in there, and for 40 years they've been trying to say that this guy's a wackadoo, and he's not. A lot of things he said back in the 80s are now fact.
Who's they have been trying to make him out to be a
You could say military-industrial complex, as Ike warned us about, Dwight Eisenhower.
NSA, CIA, anything
business.
that's an acronym.
Wait, what
Lockheed
did
Martin.
Ike say?
He said, watch out for the military. You never saw that clip? You've seen it. It actually,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
actually
yeah.
fits
It's
into
a
this.
famous,
Can you bring it up, Ian?
That's probably the
It's,
thing he's most famous for, besides
Dwight
winning World War
Eisenhower,
II.
military-industrial complex speech. It's his he was a fucking general, and this is his exit speech from when he was president. So he kind of laid it out. This is back in 1950 something. So basically, watch. It's not super long, and you'll get the gist. Thank you. Yeah, and it feeds into this because this is the ones that are.
I come to you with a message of leave-taking and farewell.
This speech did not get very much attention. When a new president is coming to power, as John Kennedy
I want to hear
was,
him.
Guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
3 months ago, we got contacted by a family up in Minnesota saying that we have documents from Malcolm Moose. He was responsible in part for drafting the military-industrial complex speech.
These new papers give us written evidence that this was not just some caprice of Eisenhower's or something by some speechwriter.
You see the evolution of his speech from May.
Our military organization today bears little relation to that known of any of my predecessors in peacetime, or indeed by the fighting men of World War II or Korea.
There was one person in Dwight Eisenhower's life whom he really confided almost
Just
everything
keep it.
to, and that was his
All
brother
rich guys
Milton.
look the same then. Have you noticed
One
that?
particular document where the speechwriters had already drafted their version of the speech.
Yeah,
only
we get the
to
gist
see-
of it there. They're going back and forth.
Yeah.
But basically, what it is, he warned against the power and influence of these military guys that they were going to turn it into a capitalist endeavor, which they already were with World War II. It was starting then.
And luckily we nipped it in the bud.
So, but what ends up happening is, it's not, obviously it's not just UFOs, but what these guys are able to do is they're able to kind of become their own vault for these types of secrets in the future, and that's what's happening now. So now when they have all these congressional hearings, they're like, there's things the Congress doesn't know that Lockheed Martin does, and they're like, that's illegal. It's completely illegal. Like they're supposed to be working in tandem. They're getting government subsidies to withhold information from the government. This is completely on the level. It's not batshit crazy. It's true. It's what's happened. So what they do is they get to take this technology and run with it and profit from it when the time comes, and then everybody else is left in the dust, and we're fucking driving around on our Lime scooters in the middle of
Fucking in an Acura while this fucking spaceship blows past me.
furniture cell from 1988 while these guys are flying around on their fucking spaceships. So that's what he was warning about, and that's when that was like the inflection point when it started, and right before that is when Roswell happened, and that's, so everything's happening at once, and then it just gets out of hand because nobody's paying attention. And that's, I think you can say, what is it they say about the Department of Defense, the budget, they're never audited. They were, back when the September 11th thing happened, they were like, what, $1 trillion
I love
off
how you call
of
it the
budget.
September 11th thing.
It's a situationship. But yeah, man, wild shit. This wasn't the only wild story of the week. Ian, hit the list. Do-do-do-do-do-do. That wasn't the list.
Rock and roll.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. Google Doc. Thank you. I watched the Jesse Michaels show, another great American Alchemy, another great UAP podcast. And this one guy who was on, very smart guy about religion, is a Satanist. So I'll come out
Hell
with
yeah.
that. She's different than a Luciferian. Google it. But he had an he does look like a Satanist, I will say.
Yeah,
he
he
looks like L. Ron Hubbard's twink.
It looks like every time he leaves a room, he does one of those smoke things. He's like,
And then you see him slowly walking out the back of it.
You see him crawling.
He's crawling. Have you ever seen that video? There's some guy who did a thing of like how Batman really runs, and they cut to like, it's like They cut to it's a scene from The Dark Knight, and then they just cut to this guy in the Batman costume running. It was like instead of him. Anyway, he had an interesting theory about the Greys and the Nordics, where this is in I don't know if you remember this, but in the Majestic 12, Sean, one of the chapters, and Phil Corso and a few people talk about this, is that there were different alien races that were essentially making deals with Eisenhower.
Right. So let's they're newbies on this. We'd like to explain
races.
to you.
Do you know them?
Alien races.
Dan knows them better than I do. Alien races, yeah. They're mostly
I wish I knew them. I'd have an audience.
They're mostly from the South universe. Yeah, they're from the South galaxy. It's alien races that you have like these things called the Nordics that kind of just look like Nazis. They're just kind of gigantic and they're blonde and whatever it is. And you have the gray. They have small grays and big grays. You can get two different sizes of grays.
Who are these?
So that's like your quintessential alien that people that people see
big eyes
in the spaceships and that like your card like behind you the picture that Dan drew, that face right there.
Yeah. That beautiful picture.
And they have reptilians. They have a whole bunch of these, right? That people say they've seen and over and over and over again.
I heard an interesting reptilian theory too, but the theory here is that the Nordics and Greys were competing over who got this like coveted contract. But his supposition is that once we learned later on, we see Nordics and Greys on ships together. Usually the Nordics are controlling the Greys. So his belief is they did a fake good cop, bad cop thing where they made a deal with the Nordics, even though they were literally making a deal with both of them at the same time and they didn't realize it.
Who did? The government?
The government. So that basically, like, they didn't know that all these things were in cahoots.
Yeah, but if they're aliens, aren't they all knowing?
Well, it just depends on the alien, and I'm sure that like once everyone's
So you're saying that the aliens have this crazy ability to access all this stuff, but yet our government can still hold one over on them?
What do you mean? Hold one on over on what do you? What,
he's like we can trick them, but they know they can time travel. They know the universe. But he's like
the aliens tricked us.
Oh,
you're saying that our government tricked the aliens.
No, the aliens tricked the government.
But there's a great. You reminded me of a great Gary Gulman bit where I don't know if I ever told you this. Where he goes, "You're telling me aliens can travel millions of miles here in a flash, but they still need that stepladder for the last 3 feet?"
That's very funny.
That's so good.
But it is like the Kaiser Sose, like they were in cahoots the whole time. I also heard.
So they were working together against us, like trying to play us, basically.
Basically trying to play
this guy's
us.
So
theory.
the aliens are against us. They don't want to be our friends.
No, not necessarily.
No.
They're all over the place.
Some of them are benevolent, but this guy, when you
clearly
dress like
not
this,
benevolent.
either I'm gonna buy a Kia from you.
He looks like
or
the last manager of a Radio Shack.
Now, I've heard interesting theories about the reptilians, where the reptilians are actually, even though people were scared of them, some people think they're the good guys, and they were the first. Well, that like we're
so
all
sad
controlled.
to be like good, but so physically repulsive that people are like, get away. Like, I'm good.
We're basically controlled by the secret Anunnaki. What are they called? The Anunnaki.
The ancient Sumerians.
Ancient Sumerians. Remnants
Like
of
Gozer?
Atlantis. Kinda, yeah.
From Ghostbusters.
But they've been creating beings in their own image, and
There is no
reptilians
Dan,
were a
only
failed
drool.
reptilians were a failed version of that, and then they went underground. I don't know. But then there's plenty of people who just think they're Jews, like David Icke. So, that's why he's anti-Semite,
When a guy comes out like this, I can't buy a guy who looks like a pit boss.
I think that's too kind. But
yeah, this guy looks like an alien.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Looks like he's
like
his idea of a human
suit.
is a guy who manages I. Goldberg in 1988.
Well, the thing about it is,
Do you guys get that reference? Do you know?
No,
I.
I
Goldberg?
don't. I just figured it was a suit place.
It was like a outdoor store that was big in the 80s.
No, but I was trying to. But the same thing you just said
suck.
kind of fits for that. You do not.
no, not for that reason.
The same thing you said about before about them trying to trick us, or we can't trick them, is like this guy. All these governments withhold all this information, so now he's like, I know exactly what they were doing. I just can't buy a guy who's like, no. These are the different types of aliens, and this is what they've been up to for 50 years.
He kind of talks like that.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't get into it. But does he talk about his theory?
Well, no, I just wanted to talk about the theory, and I had that as a reference. I forget where it is. I watched all 3 hours and 20 minutes
Dude, speaking of aliens,
Wow.
I just got a text from a number I don't know that said, Do you prefer saltwater or freshwater fishing? I'm researching gear.
What?
That's so
That's
weird.
so weird.
Did you admit you were going on a fishing trip?
Oh, it's one of those fake.
Yes.
I
was
thought
wondering
it was
that, or
a
is that
friend
like-
that wanted to go
Is
fishing.
that like some sort of glory hole?
It says,
sounded
I'm
fun for
Georgina.
a
Haven't you
second.
saved my number? God damn it. Dude, every single time I get one of these fake texts,
You fall for it?
I'm like, oh, you fucking idiot. And then this time I fall for it because I love fishing. And I'm like, oh, does someone want to go fishing?
Oh, that's sad. Wait, why do they do that?
I don't even know what the end game is with those texts.
Me
I-
neither.
I don't either.
A lonely man. That's the
I
end
don't
game.
Is that what it is? Like a click on
Call
a
her
link?
a cunt.
That, like
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're just fucking. I mean, not to use the term fishing, but it seems like that's what they're doing.
the other thing I wanted to get to, which I mentioned to you before, was that so there's tons of congressmen and women that are like. It's bipartisan. It's the only thing in government that's bipartisan right now is this thing. Like they come together to question people about this topic. And
To be like, hey, shut up, it's not
no,
real.
no, to be like, what the fuck's going
The
on?
closest we're gonna get
Congress people
to agreement in this country is if we had a silver dollar with Harriet Tubman and Charlie Kirk fighting. That would be. That's the closest we could come to a compromise. You don't need to win. We just have them like Street Fighter style
Yeah.
on the side.
It's Jake Paul.
Yeah.
puts it
That's a
on
good
and
idea.
produces it. But basically, there's a guy named Tim Burchett who's a super right wing. I think he's from Kentucky or something. He's a senator from or congressperson. He's a senator.
He's
senator?
a congressman.
Congressman.
No, he's
He's
congressman.
senator. All
Is
right,
he
whatever he is, who knows?
What
Anyway,
is the difference?
Congressman.
I know there's 2 senators per state. I know that. That's it. But you can have multiple Congress people. It's based off population. I do know that, but I just don't know that.
I think it's a congressman, right?
But what's the difference between congressman and a senator?
Who's bigger?
Senator.
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 By a
Yeah,
lot.
Okay.
Congressman. It's almost like
Who's the biggest?
President.
Wait, hold on. Smaller. Who's in the state?
Councilman.
obviously the reptilians.
Is it mayor?
Assemblyman.
Governor.
Governor.
Oh, the state governor.
We have to
Governor.
teach you guys about American civics.
What's the
before we
difference
even
between a
start on the
governor, a
aliens.
congressman, and a senator?
Governor is like in
The
charge of the state.
biggest guy.
State senators are like they have a vote to probably present bills to the governor
And draft
who signs
legislation.
off. Yeah, draft legislation.
And then what about a congressman?
I don't think you have state. You only have you only have U.S. congressmen. I don't think you have state congressmen.
And then
Maybe you do,
mayors.
though.
No, you have state
lower?
assemblymen. Yeah, you have
assemblymen.
state congressmen.
What about mayors? Where do they?
Mayor-
They
Mayor's
rule
like
the
the
city.
head of the town.
They rule the city.
They rule the city like Eric Davis did. Remember Eric Davis? Who's now he's out of it.
Eric Adams.
Adams.
There's
Eric
Gray
Davis
Davis,
is the-
who is Gray Davis was the guy who got recalled by Schwarzenegger, I believe. But the other guy is
Now, Curtis Silva is
who you're voting
say
for.
it with me, getting my vote. You think I'm joking? He likes cats. That's all I need.
You should have him on the B&N.
Oh,
You probably could. You definitely could.
We could have him on the end of this episode, I think. If we could, I could
I used to
contact
watch
his
New
people.
York One, and he would put on a wig and pretend to be Hillary Clinton.
What?
I gotta watch. Wait, can you have Curtis Silva in a wig?
It's
Ian?
incredible. It's incredible.
Heather, hey, straight Ian, can we get Curtis Silva in a wig?
I've never heard of him before.
You don't know Curtis
Oh,
Silva?
this guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Videos of it, right?
Say
Yeah.
Curtis Silva, wig Hillary. Yeah.
He's not a bad guy.
No, why do people hate him?
What's with his hat?
He has a
He
history
tried
of
to
New
bring
York City
vigilante justice
He looks
to New
like
York City.
Stalin.
because the city was going under.
Well, that's the argument.
That's the thing.
why
He cares about the city. He's been around for forever. I don't see the downside to him. Why does everyone hate him?
The hat is the downside. Is he
He's been
going
wearing
to
it
stop
for
wearing the
45
hat?
years.
Why? What is it though? I don't get it.
They did the Guardian Angels. They helped out the cops back in the 80s.
Yeah,
And
the
actually,
Guardian Angels were a bunch of young street toughs that took it upon themselves to
Street
to
toughs.
Broadway
stick
Pike.
up for citizens
When
because
you're
the
a jet,
police
you're a
were
jet all
losing
the
the
time.
fight to like violence in the subways and on the street, and now the Guardian Angels are like back then it was like young, skinny, tough Puerto Rican and black and white kids, and they were just like really like
Eating
coming
with the jerk
together.
off.
Grandpa, how did Burbs Bros become an alt-right podcast? Well, that's an interesting question, Timmy.
We invited our friend
We
Ian.
had this
No,
way
but
invite
now-
us on, and he showed us the way.
All of
That's
the
kinda
Guardian Angels are like autistic kids that couldn't even become security guards, but they love like order. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know who I'm talking about? No, they're not like
I know what you're talking
like
about.
bad people.
Like
they're
back in the
just
day, like
like
volunteer firemen back in the day.
Yes, yes.
I-
Like I really want to make a difference in my community, and it's like we can't even trust you with the hose.
Yeah, they can't
Like
protect
those
the trains,
kids.
but they know all about trains.
Yes. They're on the trains not to protect, just to learn more.
There's a really great Onion video where it was like it was an autistic guy sent to interview conditions of a prison, and they're supposed to be pitching, but he just like loves the schedule. He's like, so everyone's there at 6:45. That's great. Ian, let's hit the list. Straight in, let's hit the list.
Can you, Ian? Would you actually? I want to throw in here because there's the congressman or the senator that I was talking about. He's super involved in this, and he sounds like a character from like a Looney Tunes cartoon. But he's just like, I don't know, we're gonna find out about this in a dog's age. He's like very, very Southern.
Oh, I like that.
But he's lived it his whole life, and he really is. He's pretty no nonsense. And they have this interview. Look up Tim Burchett. Burchett, Burchettt.
Yeah, he's a congressman.
Tim Burchett,
Oh, of
like
course, he's a
underwater
congressman.
UFOs interview. It should pop up on like YouTube or something. They're asking him on the street, and he's giving a rundown about how we think we can kind of nail it. These things exist in 5 different deep water.
Right there, the third one.
There we go. See, all right, here we go. Let's watch this. Ready?
These are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas. And that's why, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so, to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff. What if
This is the most casual, fucking shocking thing I've ever heard.
I like that guy.
Yeah, so do I.
We like him too.
Yeah,
I think
what's wrong with him? How come he's not a good guy?
No, it's just his politics are right wing, but he's a good guy with this. I don't care about his other politics, but this he's pretty on the level, and he's just like I think he cares about his state, right? I think he's a pretty
Dude, if you can get me on a spaceship, I don't give a fuck about SNAP food payments. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just
That's
fucking,
him right there.
That's him?
Yeah.
He looks so much older in that video.
Yeah, he probably is.
Probably
That's
working
an
in
old
the fucking
headshot.
White House.
We all have
The
old
knowledge
headshots.
has aged him.
I used to have one without any gray in my beard.
That's a Mindy.
What you call? But anyway, he seems pretty on the level to me. And what he's saying is that's another theory that I'll pose to you guys is that these things, because there's a thing called the Fermi paradox where they're like, hey, if these things are for real in space, then why can't we find them? Or like either by all of our satellites, our sonar, our radar, or this. And the Fermi paradox says because we're the first to exist as this type of being, or we're last if they've all died out, or we're too far away. There's all these different reasons why. But his reasoning is they've been here for who knows how long, and they exist deep in the oceans, and we've discovered more of the moon than we have the ocean.
And even with the moon, let's not pretend that NASA doesn't edit these fucking videos and they take out sounds. And all right, I'm not going to get into it, but I have opinions on the moon.
So are these things gonna hurt us? Like,
No, but
my biggest
jury's
question
not
is,
out.
The way
will
it
this
seems-
affect my touring schedule?
They stay clear of funny bones.
I'm safe. I'm gonna be in Omaha next weekend. This isn't a joke, please.
Omaha, Nebraska said.
They don't want to pay coverage. They don't want to pay a drink minimum. These are cheap aliens. No, but basically, to me, it seems like an observing kind of thing. That's one of the theories. Like it's like we're an ant farm, and then just kind of watch them from whatever, or
alien.
What do you think?
I believe they're in the ocean because there's so much. I mean, there's some crazy statistic about how little we know about the ocean. It's like, well, what's down there then? And it's so deep. Those freaking infographics of like, this is how it's like 1 million Eiffel Towers.
Even the
It's like,
ocean
what the hell? Why aren't we looking down there?
Even the ocean of you look out and like a shark can just jump on your boat and you don't even see it. and it's a
Yeah.
foot under the water.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
It's so scary to think
It's
about
a-
it's so deeper.
It's the Harry Potter invisibility cloak. It's like its own invisibility cloak in a way.
Well, the sharks have that?
No, just the water and the ocean and like the reflectiveness.
And as we all know, it covers most of the planet. So why wouldn't that be the dominant species on the planet?
And why wouldn't we investigate it first
I
before
think
going
that-
to the moon?
Yeah, why
Well,
are we
they
going
have
to
those-
Mars? Why don't we build a colony down there?
Because they run shit, bro.
Yeah,
That's why.
Because they've seen these things and they're like,
They know
"Don't-
it's down
Hey,
there."
stop. Yeah.
But wait, how come we haven't built an ability to live underwater? Wouldn't that change Like,
we
wouldn't it
just
be
explained
better?
they don't have quantum energy.
No, but
because
I'm
of
saying
the
if we
fossil-
took all the homeless and just made them live underwater, that would make things so much better.
It's the Brian Kilmeade program. That would be the government name.
What's that?
Brian Kilmeade's the guy in Fox who said we should kill homeless people.
Yeah,
And then
nonchalantly.
came back,
We should round them up
He's
and
like,
kill
he's
them.
like, forced
Anyway,
execution.
weather on the ones. Like, what?
He did call. I think he called it forced execution or whatever he said. And it's like, isn't every execution forced execution?
He
Isn't there a
kept going
voluntary
back and made
execution?
it worse.
Why?
Yeah,
What was he
You
saying?
know, like
Explaining
well,
himself.
at first it was like, well, we should do something. We should just kill him.
Oh.
Forced execution. Like he thought about it. Like it got worse
I don't
each
think we
time.
should kill them, but build a community underwater for people to go to. Then
yeah.
we should
turn
kill
them.
him.
So I think we don't have the, we don't have the, it's an energy thing. It really is an energy thing. It's like, how do
we
you,
don't have the energy.
How do you
to-
put the energy into it? They have cables that run on the ocean floor, but like, I honestly do think that there's a reason why it's being steered clear is because you have. What about the submersible that exploded with the whole from that documentary? The billionaire
pressure.
thing. If they could do those get pretty deep. They could build one that goes even further to check stuff out. And I think things have been seen and deals. I think not deals have been made, but I think
that
they're
would
like
be so cool to have an underwater community, like a place where people can like reside to free up space on
Well, even
Earth.
when they say like to desalinize the water, they're like the amount of energy you need to do that we can't create. It would like we just that's why the 0 point energy thing could
Too much
really
effort.
help us out. It could change
Yeah.
our lives. You know, there'd be no water shortage. It'd be it fixes everything.
yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Is that called Aquarius?
Atlantis?
What's the name of the
Atlantis.
That's actually just Jared Kushner's plan for Palestine.
Wait, Atlantis is the idea of an underwater.
No,
world,
Atlantis
right?
it was supposedly a real place that existed that fell off into the water, and then they kept existing somehow, and they grew more advanced than humans. So like even
I just want to fuck a mermaid.
well, you can do that now.
Know what I
You
mean,
could-
brother?
You could just go to some sort of furry type mixer with a mermaid outfit on. But the thing is, the Sumerian thing actually does make you wonder. If you look at the ancient Sumerians, it does make you wonder, like, how are they able to do what they did?
What are the Sumerians? What did they do?
Are
They
they?
were.
What?
It's the first
So, like,
recorded
Samoa?
civilization.
Hey, Ian, this isn't a fucking, this is a performance review, okay? Can you get into the fucking show? What did I do? Go ahead, asshole.
No, I want context. You're mentioning these things. I just want to know.
So
I'm interested in the thing.
Oh, go ahead. What do you?
This
Tell
feels
me-
like a fight at a DMV. I gotta be honest with you.
No,
this
ancient
entire
Sumerians
interaction.
were way more. They had all sorts of advancements that our ancestors did not. So like, and they were before, like thousands of years before, like when we were our modern math, our modern science, they were doing things like that
And
with
where
way
on
less
the
information.
where on the globe
Look at that
was
nose.
this?
Jesus
This
Christ.
is in like in the continent of Africa.
They always look like they fucked up. Like every single photo of ooh, what just happened? You know, oops. It's the most oops species I've ever seen for being. Sorry, guys, if you're wherever you are, but
Submarine. I thought you were talking about like Samoans or something.
No, Samoans is different. Samoans is like Moana.
Moana. Yeah, I was picturing Moana like 1,000 years ago.
No, so these things apparently were more advanced than they should have been, and one of the theories is that they were like maybe helped along a little bit, given some information.
So then how
they
come-
might have some cave drawings that kind of back that
How
up.
come they died out and then we came about?
I think it was they pre-ice age. No, they weren't. No, it wasn't pre. What was it? I forget the reasoning. It was some big catastrophe.
it was. I think it was pre-Ice Age. I mean, there's a theory that like the whole everything past in the
Extinction.
Old Testament, yeah, was the poles flipped. You know, and that's where like there was like a lot of breaking up of continents, and that sounds kind of crazy to me. But I also like everything that I've kind of learned this year. I don't really know. I can't.
Do you
trust
believe in
anything.
the fact that there was a rip in the time space continuum? Shut up. Time space continuum on 9/11, and we're living in an alternate.
No.
I
reality
don't,
than
but
that?
we had somebody on our podcast who thinks that may be a thing. Sarah
Mm-hmm.
Gam.
Maybe a thing.
Maybe a thing.
So
Former
that
CIA
nothing's real.
Well, it would be real. It's just we're living in a different reality.
So, did you put on the list the thing that I sent you? Because this kind of speaks to this.
Which one is
Where
this?
that basically, this is on a particle level that the something that happens. There's a physics thing that they've discovered that kind of explains
With 9/11?
No, but no.
Well, you know, Sean's so mad at me.
No.
I'm taking an interest in everything you're saying. And you're
But the no, you hear like Mandela effect, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's real?
Yes.
You do think it's real?
Yeah, for
The-
sure.
The big one for me is the fruit of the loom thing.
Yeah, there's so
Do you know
many.
about
There's so many things where it's like
What was the Fruit of the Loom? I know Bernstein Bears. I know that one. But what's the Fruit
What's
of
the
the
other
Loom?
Mandela?
Fruit of the loom is that
the logo.
The logo. When I was growing up, I'm positive it had a cornucopia on it
Yeah.
with the fruit.
Yeah.
And the company has come out and said it's never had that ever, and that's just a bald-faced lie. And then
that.
The left is how I.
That's how it was. You're
Right.
right.
Left
Yep.
was the.
They're saying it's always been that.
And they're
granted,
fucking
what
with
is-
us.
what is the-
I think they might be. I think the logical thing is that they're messing with us, and they get good viral marketing by saying it never had that.
Yeah.
Because now you just become you're in the you're in the lexicon with that stuff, right? But they're swearing up and down.
What
they
are
never had
other
that.
Mandela effect things?
That now, the
There's so
first one
many.
is that Mandela died in prison, but people were convinced of it, and then obviously he didn't because he went on to be a scholar. Bernstein Bears, that one was me. I thought it was Bernstein. The Monopoly character is often remembered as having a monocle. I remember that. Fruit of the Loom logo, we did that one. Mirror, mirror on the wall. It's Evil Queen in
Magic
Snow White
mirror.
says magic mirror on the wall.
No, it's mirror, mirror.
I knew it as mirror, mirror. Shazam with Sinbad. I thought they found that was for real.
No, that's fake. He did a sketch. As
Oh,
Sinbad,
okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
I totally remember the mirror thing to your guys' point.
Yeah, mirror,
Yeah.
mirror on the
That-
wall.
I
And
totally
also
remember
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
That I think that came from Tommy Boy when he's speaking to the fan. He goes, Luke,
Yes.
I am your father.
I
And
agree.
then that makes everyone believe that's what it was.
Wow,
Jif-
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Jif is
definitely it.
Jiffy. No, I don't know. Jif, I always know as Jif. Febreze as Febreze.
So none of these are like
No, it
consequential, like.
no,
but people. Well, the thing.
it's not gonna end the world.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that it was like the government doing an experiment to like test with like human memory to see if they could get This was just like a test to see if they could get away with something bigger.
I never came early.
And that's why they brought up. That's why they entered these things into like the
Yes.
public domain.
Yeah, and they tried to like change our memory to see if it can work for something else in the future.
Interesting. I believe that. I certainly
I believe that more than I believe that there was a shift in the time-space continuum. But I will say that did you put that on the list? The thing about the particles?
I did.
There's an actual process that's been found. Now, granted, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not a quantum physicist. I don't know if you guys know that, but and there was a process that was found that's completely legit. That they said that the things happening to a particle in present day can affect its history. So basically, physicists discover a quantum effect where choices made in the present seem to alter the events in the past.
How? What?
I saw this too, and how?
That's enough internet for today.
What's an example?
Yeah, give us an example of this.
No. This is on the particle level. So when they're looking at it on the atomic level, they're like, hey, whatever physical thing this particle went through in the present day, for some reason its history of the particle.
I don't believe that. I think it changes the perception of the history.
That's very possible. But there's all sorts of theories that show that like there's all sorts of quantum physics things that are fucking crazy. One is that electrons acting a certain way only when they're being observed, and
Yes.
atoms that right. So it's like stuff like that should make you realize we don't know everything about our
What do you mean electrons early act a certain
Well, when
way
you
they're
observe
being-
them, they go, "Oh shit, we gotta work. We gotta work this."
It's like
They're watching us.
It's like when you can feel someone staring at you and you
Right.
look up. It's like that.
You guys almost kissed just there. That was
I know. I
amazing.
was trying to do it, but you couldn't feel it.
Let's kiss now and see how much it fucks up our pants.
It's butterfly effect.
Oh no, there's cum now. Let's get. We only have we're
2 minutes left.
We have 2 minutes left. So let's go to the list and let's pick a good one. And then hey, for our Patreon, guys, we will be doing everything that we didn't get to on the list. And for our new patrons, me and Sean are going to introduce ourselves. So there you go.
Whoa, that's worth the price of admission.
All right. Well, I guess this one's good. Number 8. No rapture. There was supposed to be a rapture last week. I don't know. Like
You just Porky Pigged yourself. You could not get through it, then you just changed what you were saying.
Well, Sean showed me a video, but I've seen the video all over. It's all these people in Africa like met in the woods and started like waiting for the rapture. But do you guys? When do you think the world's gonna end? If you had to put money on it right
Valentine's
now,
Day. Bummer. It's Ghostbuster reference.
At least not for like 1,000 years.
Serious? Wait, the world? Okay, humans. I shouldn't say the world. Humans.
Humans.
Tuesday?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
say.
1,000.
I'm
years.
hoping so.
500 to 1,000 years.
Wow, that's pretty glass
I'd
half
say
full.
that's a pretty.
I do
good
think like
assessment.
every generation has thought like the world was ending in some way or another. Like I used to think that like and by used to I meant like a week ago. I thought like, oh, why is everything happening right now? But then I don't know. I just did like research about like what was happening in the 1800s, and like every 10 years there was something huge that everyone thought we were gonna die from.
There was a plague every other month.
There was a plague, yeah, but you know, and I'm sure in the moment it felt like everything's
gonna end, yeah.
gonna end, and then it didn't, and now we're here, and I think there will be a time of like.
But now, I guess now it seems bigger because we're so much more connected now than they were. It was so
I
much
know.
more localized.
Yes, yes.
So now we're like, well, we're talking to people on this side of the planet, and they're going through the same shit. So it's for real this time. And you might be right. I think you might be right. I think it's longer than you'd think.
And we're learning too much. We know too much, and we're learning too much. Like instead of like back in the day, the news could lie to us, and we would just believe it. We had no other source of information. And now we know way too much. So now we're getting more depressed about it.
That's very possible.
What about you, Dan? You think you think in 50 years?
I mean, human civilization for sure will be done in 50 years, I think.
No way.
Yeah, I said
so?
civilization. I didn't say humans.
What do you mean civilization?
Well, we'll still be around, but it'll be like Mad Max.
Nobody's going to be debating a democracy in 50 years. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I want to go to that hut with that warlord and not this hut with this warlord.
Who has the most water?
You think that's what it'll be like in the United States?
Yes.
In 50 years.
I think the United States, it's more likely to happen here than most places. Because we haven't really gone through that yet. We went through a civil war like once, you know? Mm-hmm. So we're due, brother.
Ian?
I think we're going to run out of fish soon.
That's why you're so excited about that text?
Yeah.
I want to go fishing now. All the fish are gone.
You're just sitting there on your rocking chair. There used to be real big fish back in the day.
The Bosstones used to be mighty.
You can't say there's plenty of fish in the sea anymore.
I don't know. I think we're going to run out of drinkable water soon.
That seems to be a for real thing.
I really think we're going to run out of drinkable water by like 2040.
That's why to bring back to our first point about 0 point energy is like if they were able to release that or something.
And then that is going to lead to like a mass extinction movement.
What?
Running out of water.
Yeah, but I'm saying, say you have enough energy where they can power one of these desalinization things.
That's why you got to get rid of AI.
Well, we have another theory on the show that we can get into next time you guys come in, that Anthony Amateur thinks that it's hyped up and it's like super Google and it's kind of bullshit and there's going to be a bust of it.
What,
AI? It's not going to do what people think it's going to do.
Well, I hope so. I hope it's not going to do anything. It's like
the version the version they give us is us.
Wait, did you see that there's like some agency that wants to sign like
I just saw that. I just posted
an
it.
AI actress? Yeah.
They already did. They signed it.
What? What is this? No one. We gotta protest or that movie.
Become fishermen.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucked up. Well, they were talking about it being.
Is that her?
That's her.
She's fake.
Yes.
I've been DMing with her.
All right, that's the perfect spot to. That was fucking
folks.
great.
Ian, where can we find you?
iAnimal69 on Instagram, ianfidance.com for all my dates. I'm going all over, having fun. Come out and see me live. And I will be putting out my travel show soon. Ian an On Guy doing On Jobs. It's going to be on youtube.com/IanFidanceComedy. So subscribe to that. And the podcast is Being Ian with Jordan every Wednesday on YouTube, patreon.com/BeingIanPod.
Awesome. And Elle?
Wow.
Man, he had that memorized.
That was a lot. I'm on Instagram at Elle Orlando. And I have a podcast called The El Diablo Show. And
that's a cool name.
Thanks. And yeah, I'm on the road as well. And just I have Punch Up Live /Elle Orlando /tickets maybe. And
That sounds right.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
You're asking
Omaha.
us like we know. You're like, right? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
And Danny Boy?
You can find me and my girlfriend Tilly Norwood. That was what
That was the
I
name
asked
of
me.
the-
Sorry, guys. I guess it's
let's
not.
Mandela effect that. Act like it never happened.
I have a YouTube channel. I have an Instagram. I'm going to be in Boston in the end of October, and then November I'm going to be Canada and Skankfest. And join our Patreon, guys. Follow us on YouTube. Join our Instagram. Become fans of the show. Share the clips.
Yes.
You know, do your time.
Help us out, folks.
Help
And
us out,
Follow me
guys.
on @ShawneeTime. You go there, I'll post all my live stuff. I'm going to like Janesville and a couple other places locally. So but thank you guys so much for doing this. We really appreciate
thanks.
it.
This is so fun. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Ian. Thank you to the crew. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.
All right, guys. Our octagon, the octagon. That's what I'm going to call these first 8 patrons. You guys are the founding fathers of our Patreon, all right? Or the Hateful Eight, if you would. Zach with a K, which means he's cooler than a Zach with a CK. Andrew. Andrew, you had to give yourself a little more pizzazz for me to really do something with that name. I'm supposed to roast them, right? I totally forgot. Uncle Johnny. Like, if you're not a pedophile, you're appropriating it. Isaac Harris. Isaac Harris sounds like a fake name. It sounds like what Uncle Johnny goes into to get into women's dormitories. William Morris, and the only agent that I have not been with in Hollywood yet. I will probably, by the time I get it, I'll be with Willie Morris. It'll be some fucking Temu version of fucking William Morris. But Duncan McRae, Dunkaroos. I just thought of that. Remember those? Those are awesome. Duncan McRae. Love those Dunkaroos. I don't know. I said I was going to roast him, but you guys are giving me money, so it's very hard to fucking roast you guys. I actually love you. Christopher Close. Too close for comfort. Am I right, Ian? No? Thank you, Ian. Ian smiled and gave me a thumbs up, but he has to, or else he's fired. And then finally, guys, Mike Moyer. Moyer. Help me, Ian. You're not a comedian.
I hardly know her.
Oh, what the fuck? Why the fuck are you paying for our Patreon? Ian has an OnlyFans where he shows his asshole, and then we draw it and we make art from it. I don't know, guys. I'm very tired, but check out our Patreon.